Forget your blues with the cruise at Rodeo's Drive-Thru Hollywood News. Ooh, yeah.
I'm your host, Rodeo Marie Hansen. Tonight, we're at the campus of Kutztown University. My very special guest, oceanographer, glaciologist, TED Fellow, and National Geographic Society explorer, Dr. M. Jackson. Take us back to the beginning. When did you first get interested in science and geology?
So I didn't get interested in science for a very long time. When I was a young person, when I was a teenager, I had no idea that science was an option for me. I'd never met a scientist, let alone a female scientist. So it wasn't until my mid to late 20s that I started going through graduate school, getting my master's and my PhD, and I started to get a handle on this idea that maybe I could be a scientist. And once I did, I get really excited about telling anybody and everybody that they should be a scientist too, because science is this open and beautiful and diverse field, and anyone can come into science and bring any perspective and be able to question our world.
Great. In the past, we've seen men in science positions. Recently, we heard a lot about STEM, science, research, technology, and math. To motivate young women, such as myself, to explore a career in math and sciences, what's your view on STEM?
So STEM needs a lot more diversity. Typically, if we look at historic trends, and this is different for different fields, but typically it's a lot more men than it is women, and that's slowly changing. But I think that if we have things like this, a program like this, or if we have magazines, or if we have books, if we have stories, just a larger conversation about what a scientist could be, I think that it's going to attract more people to STEM, and then hopefully more people will want to pursue that as a career.
Nice. Your book, The Secret Lives of Glaciers, presents information on climate change in a unique way. The approach of using people's stories to put a face on this issue makes it highly relatable to anyone with a family. Why did you decide to write the book? And what is one most important lesson someone can learn by reading it?
So I decided to write this particular book because I had done a great deal of research, and I wanted to put it together and not just keep it into academia. I wanted it available to different publics. And I think something that's really important is that we can have the very best data, the very best numbers, metrics, models chronicling climate change, but if we don't have that grounded in human stories, we're not going to make sense of it very well. And so here we have in this book a lot of the physical science stated over and over again, and then we have a lot of the human stories that go with that so that you can contextualize it.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
When doing research in Iceland, you were in another part of the world very few of us will ever see. What is the best memory you have from the trip?
So I have been so fortunate to go back and forth to Iceland, and what stays with me is how welcoming and safe and curious and passionate so many of the people in Iceland are. It's a really wonderful place to do research. It's been incredibly welcoming to me, and I hold that. That's what I love about coming here.
Nice. Dr. Jackson, you're a National Geographic explorer. What inspiration can you offer a young person who dreams of growing up to go on explorations like you?
I'd say make sure it happens. So anybody can be a National Geographic explorer. We're all explorers. You have to go out in your own backyard, find something that you love, and learn about it, and talk about it, witness it, document it, share it. And that is the core of exploration right there. And we all can do that, and keep doing it, keep doing it, keep telling these stories. And this is what allows us to then share to a wider audience. And I think a lot of people can pursue that path if they want. I hope they do. We all need more advocates here.
Recently, I saw a video of walruses who are dying off in mass masses because the ice caps they live on have melted. As an Arctic expert for National Geographic Society, is climate change something that only happens to animals in remote parts of the world, or will it impact everyone on the planet?
So climatic changes impacts every human being, all environmental phenomena, every aspect of the world we live in and what we live in with, from rivers and mountains and forests to bacteria and viruses and seals and all life on this planet. It impacts us all very differently, at different scales, different values, and how we make sense of that is something we're going to be working on for a very long time. But we know what to do and how to move forward with it. I hope we do.
Great. With 10 years experience in the field of climate sciences, what would you say to President Donald Trump about your findings?
I would say I would welcome an opportunity to sit down and have a real conversation about climate change. It doesn't involve a medium. We don't need to talk through writing or have a conversation through a TV network. I would just love to do exactly what we're doing right now. Sit down and talk about it, because most people are pretty reasonable.
You do speaking engagements every year, and we're lucky to have you in Kutztown, PA today. What do you like most about visiting this town?
So something I've really liked about being out here is having the chance. I've never spent much time in Pennsylvania, so being able to talk with a lot of students today and learn about the business of living in this place. It's one of the great things about going around and speaking at different places. I love to speak at different places because I get to interact with different people who tell me what it's like to be in that place, which really opens up my own geography.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
What is your newest project and where will it take you?
So one new project that I'm working on right now is I'm looking at how women and ice interact. And I have a new book about that. How, as ice changes, it also changes communities' social structures, specifically for women. And that's the project I'm working on.
What is your favorite go-to food?
Oh, my favorite go-to food? Hands down, ice cream. I love ice cream so much.
Nice. Thank you to my very special guest, Dr. M. Jackson, for stopping in at the drive-thru. Until next time, that's a wrap.
We want to thank you for doing what you do. We want to thank you